So I decided to come up with a deck last night just because I was looking at the achievements and came up across this deck. Achievement requiring you to only cast during your opponent's turn. So I came up with a mono blue deck called Your Go. This is going to be a deck that everything has flash, so we cast during our opponent's turn, and it's got a lot of bounce interaction and counterspell interaction. So this is probably not going to be a deck a lot of opponents are going to like playing against, but at the same time, we are going to be an awkward deck to play with here. So the goal of this deck is we are running cards that have flash and benefit from casting during our opponent's turn, like the Brineborn Cutthroat. Whenever you cast a spell during your opponent's turn, it gets a +1/+1 counter on this creature. To help make sure we are drawing more cards, we are running Fire Mastermind, so if our opponent draws cards, we can draw extra cards. We have Floodpit Drowner to help interact with opponent's creatures, stunning them, potentially putting them back in their deck. Running a couple copies of Malcolm to give us a looting option in our deck, so that way if we hit the opponent with Malcolm, we can draw and discard. The rest of the text doesn't really matter, because we're never going to try to cast during our turn with this deck idea. Running some Plume Creed Escorts. This is a flash flying creature that when it enters the battlefield, target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. I'm choosing this one over the Cyber Cryptomancer just because it is a flyer. We have some Tasha Timebinders, so that way we can counterspell the activated abilities of a card or a triggered ability of a card, and that card will lose all of its abilities until the Tidebinder leaves the battlefield. We have a couple Enduring Curiosities to give us card draw, and we're using some Spectral Sailors as a good little flash 1-drop. Our interactions is bounce off to bounce things, along with Ephra's Dispersal. We have some counterspells in Long River's Pull, which 2-mana counterspell creature, or if you gift them a card, basically let them draw a card, you can counter any spell instead for just 2 blue mana. You also have some Phantom Interference and Spell Pierces in this build. I'm only going 21 lands just because most of our cards are on the relatively cheap side, and hopefully we'll be able to see how well this performs. All right. Now, I'll be honest, I'm decided to see if we can get this Your Go achievement without just being a hard control deck, and just going with the idea of just being a full control deck. I wanted to see if we can just do like mono blue tempo. Okay, it seems like a pretty decent hand. We'll keep it. Well, I would like to get the Cutthroat growing right away. I would like to be able to have the mana to maybe also protect it. Let's pass to the opponent. You know what? I like that opponent. You can have your Annex. I'll get my Mastermind down. And we need a land here. We did not hit the land. That is a bit of an issue. I don't want to discard the hand size, but we are going to choose to do so. We'll discard Dispersal. Yep. That is fine. Not really, but we'll tap that down, put a stun counter on it. Where's our land? There it is. Get in for some damage. Puck that away. Unfortunately, Spell Pierce can't counterspell the room activation. Oh my gosh, opponent with another Bloodletter. And there's our counterspell, just a bit late. Well, we pass to the opponent. We'll discard the Escort, I think. Nowhere to run. We'll let that resolve. So it does mean the Escort isn't going to be able to protect that. Trying to use the Dispersal to get that off the board. Alright, let's flash this in. And we'll get this off the board. Kinda need the land. We'll get rid of Enduring Curiosity here. Why did my music just suddenly, like, stop? Let's see. I think actually I have to get rid of the land too. I need another bounce spell, I think. Or some type of interaction to deal with Slasher. I'm gonna have to chair the creature here. Pass. I do have Long Rivers to stop the Aclazotz. So let's get rid of Bloodletter. Then we can bring down Malcolm. Yeah, we'll bring down Malcolm in response. We get in for 2. Opponent knows about the Spell Pierces, so it's not going to be very useful. Escort is completely useless because of the nowhere to run. Okay. We pass. Now it becomes a question, do we try to put the Fairy Mastermind board to get the immediate card draw here, or do we go Enduring Curiosity? I think we're going to go Curiosity here. By the way, I'm glad that you like the deck idea, Draco, but I don't think it's going to work well in this matchup, at least. Alright, they make the Demon token, so I'm going to lose life instead of them. And I'm just going to unfortunately scoop it up here, because the Demon attacks along with the Unstoppable Slasher, I might be able to double Spell Pierce something to save the cat as a blocker, but it's not worth it. They got it. The goal of this deck is literally just to see if it can accomplish the achievement Your Go. And since it's a blue achievement, I figured, hey, it'd be like appropriate to try to do this with a mono blue deck. But let's see. Oh, alright. We can keep this. When we hit the lands, this will be a great hand. Oops. I oopsed. I misclicked. I forgot to put my land down, and I hit the auto pass button. Like, I was complimenting this hand. Oh, this is kind of a cool hand to keep. Completely just go to end step for some stupid reason. Oh, man. Oops. Okay. We'll keep this hand. Opponent's turn. Yeah. That's the worst thing I could see my opponent play. Let's go ahead and go with the Mastermind here. Opponent possibly going to just, like, shock it or something. Okay. We did not hit what we needed. We're gonna lose this stupid mouse. I need a bounce spell in the worst way. I need bounce off. I need a dispersal. I need something to get the mouse off the board. Okay. The problem is if I play this and try to block, it's still going to trigger the mouse because they'll target with a pump spell. We're just going to hold them both up for blocking. We're going to make sure that they can't resolve Trample for this Heartfire hero. They don't play a creature, we just go Enduring Curiosity. Problem is, I'm at 3 life, so I always have to hold up Counterspell Magic. No, you cannot have that. And no, you cannot do that either, opponent. Should have gone for interference there, in all honesty, but... There's the bounce spell that I was looking for this whole time. Long River's Pull. Pass to the opponent. I can't go for the cat, right? No, I have to go for the cat. Because even if they have Lightning Strike, I can't counterspell it with Phantom Interference. Alright, Dispersal means that if they bring a creature to the board, I can just bounce the creature. Oh, the thing is, there's actually not that many counterspells in my deck overall. Like, I have more creatures and bounce spells. But no, I totally am with you there. Bustalust. Interesting name you have there, by the way. Let's go for this. Spell Pierce, Interference. I mean, I guess I keep these. Put that back in their hand. I want them replaying that as much as possible. Put that back in your hand. Yes, I'm fine with this. Let's see, if we do this... Create the token. We force them to block with the creature? Or we just... I want to play that so bad just to get the lethal. But if I do that, I can't get the achievement. And we're going for the achievement. Yes, you can have that. I'm gonna try to get them to dedicate more mana here. Now we bounce it. And we got it. And that should give us the achievement. I'm surprised we managed to come back in that, in all honesty. That stupid one-drop mouse almost got us. What's the achievement? Your go. The name of the deck. The achievement is you must cast a minimum of 5 spells, neither games against Sparky nor direct challenges to qualify. And you have to win a game where you only cast spells on your opponent's turn. So, you have to play at least 5 spells during your opponent's turn to be able to get this to count. So you can play a control deck and just like force your opponent to quit. The problem is you can't use any like sorcery speed board wipes because the moment you cast something during your turn, you no longer qualify for this achievement. But we got it. Well, the thing is, it's most of the time you'll still play something during your turn, even in a like play on your opponent's turn style deck. So this is it pigeonholing you into that idea is what makes it so difficult. All right, let's keep this hand. All right, we got a lot of bounce, and we have a lot of cheap creatures, so this is good. All right, Quest Caller, bit dangerous. All right, we'll just chip in for 1. I'm gonna hold up our bounce spells and our spell pierce here. Yeah, we'll let that resolve. I was thinking about whether I let it resolve because of the Quartermaster there, but we'll go for the Cutthroat. Yeah, no blocks. We'll take it. We'll just land pass. That's fine. They get a scry again. Let's go ahead and cast Bounce Off, put that back in their hand. We'll go ahead and trade with this. And we'll play a Mastermind, get the Grow again. Chip in 2. And it'll be the opponent's turn. Okay, that is fine for a moment. You can always bounce it off later. That's bold. We'll just block here, flash in Malcolm, grows our creature. This will shrink by 2 because it's losing the Lord plus another body. Alright, we're done needing lands. I should have held that land for discard for Malcolm. Let's see what we draw. You know what? Let's discard the Spell Pierce, because they can pay for the Spell Pierce at this point. Let's see. Do we want to bounce anything? No, but I think we'll just activate this. We'll get ourselves a draw 2. Okay, so we can swing in for 4. We'll see what we have to discard with the Malcolm here. We'll discard the land. Play it. Pass. Cutthroat actually just ends up just being a wall in this deck, and we just kill with flying. Let's see, we can flash this in. And instead of giving our opponent a card, we can just draw ourselves a card. Alright, so we have 5 in the air, and then next turn will be lethal. I will discard the land. Yeah, I can't think of anything the opponent can resolve between our counter spells and protection. So there we go, we got it. Yeah, even, like, their worst spell that I probably could expect from their deck would be, like, Season of, the White Season spell, to try to, like, exile the flyers. But we could protect a flyer, bring out another flyer in response, and we can even probably... Now, I can't bounce... Well, I could bounce and play back the Spectral Sailor, so I'd still have the same number of bodies on the board. Actually, I'd have one extra body on the board. And, yeah, that was an easy win. I thought I claimed this. Did I not claim this? Oh, there we go. We can claim that. I started to go with the idea of, like, I kind of want to, like, start maybe just trying to, like, do the achievements to get the rewards. Not like I really know if I really am going to plan on using any of them, but I figure once each day we'll try to, like, maybe do an achievement or something. I'm a little worried about this hand, but I think we can keep it. Yep. Mono red. So we need the land. We're going to interfere with that one. Missed the land. I really wanted the land so I could play Tasha's Tidebinder to counter the Hired Claw's triggered ability. That way the Hired Claw would just be an easy thing to be able to block and destroy. We're going to take the hit. Opponent's, I guess, playing around the counter spells at this point, which is why they chose to do that. We'll go Cutthroat. Probably a shock happening to the Cutthroat. Yeah. Ooh, that's a terrible draw. I mean, it's good because it can counter a creature spell. Bad because, well, I don't have anything else. Yeah, that one has to go. We can't let that one resolve. I mean, I guess it was good that we drew it for that, but I need the land. In the worst way. Oh my gosh, they had double Heartfire Hero. I'm surprised they didn't go Heartfire Hero, target it with this, so that way they get attack in. Yeah, why didn't you use this? I guess they wanted to use the Hired Claw skill? A little awkward in my mind, but hey, they're going to do what they're going to do. Alright. I'm waiting for them to try to use a pump spell so that we can use Bounce Off. But they're not going to do that. We're just going to try to bring in Mastermind here. Burn spell for the Mastermind. Now this is why I said I'm a little worried about keeping this hand. It was a 2-lander. There's the land finally. But it's a bit late. Quite a bit late. Alright, we're going to flash this in, counter the Heartfire Hero trigger. Okay, yeah. We'll just go ahead and skip it up. We just didn't get that third land until it was way too late. Yeah, Mythic Limited would be a one of those things that's going to hold a lot of people off from being able to get the Achievement Hunter title. I probably won't be able to get it either because of that. Like, I can do decent in the drafts, but I'm not a Mythic drafter. Alright, we'll try keeping this. I hate how the fact that I'm always on the draw against Heartfire Hero. Can I please be on the play? Alright, well. Awesome. Triple Heartfire Hero. Alright, you kindly go screw yourself. Oh my gosh. Malcolm, you're useless at this point. We need something else. Alright, we can use Long River's Pull to counterspell a hero. But I think I need to put a Brineborn to the board. Yeah, no, this can't resolve. We'll give you a card. And that resolves, I'm guaranteed dead. As is, I'm probably guaranteed dead just because it's triple Heartfire Hero. Yeah, I didn't hit any one-drop interactions, really. We'll let that resolve. That one needs to be counterspelled. Okay, so we can play out the Cutthroat, and we can play out another card. Play out Cutthroat. Play out Mastermind. I'm going to have to apply blocks and hope my opponent doesn't have a pump spell as their last card. That's all you have. I think I'm pretty good here then. We'll take the trades. And we're scoop. Alright! We're having lots of fun against Heartfire Heroes. Hey! Please, game. Get rid of this fucking mouse. I'm tired of it. Oh my freaking word. Like, the Heartfire Hero is such a busted one-drop, and I'll be honest, they're gonna do ban list. I just want to get rid of the stupid mouse. It is the most infuriating one-drop to have to deal with. After all, what's the top deck in the best of 3? Oh yeah, it's mono red. Why? Because Heartfire Hero can create turn 2 wins with Leyline. Oh my gosh. Alright. This seems like a good hand. We can keep this. We don't have much aggression here yet. Spell Pierce. You don't draw that card. Pass, obviously. Long Rivers. Curious if I can get this opponent to just rage quit because we just counterspell everything, because it's kind of what we have. But Next creature probably we have to go with... Yeah, we're gonna go drown... Let's put the Drowner here. Attack in. Shuffle that back. Back to hand. Now they don't have double black for next turn. Oh man, this opponent's just gonna be absolutely annoyed with me. Do I shuffle it back? I think I will. Yeah, you can have Llanowar Elf. Okay, there we go. Now we have a threat. We also have Bounce Off as a protection. Yeah, you can get in with the Restless Cottage this time. I'm fine with that. But you notice that I like to play things during your turn, and you're going to attack with the Llanowar Elf? Alright, cool. We'll eat up the elf. You know, let's also bounce this back. Set him off the double black again. Alright, we attack in. We have protection. I did not need more lands. That's definitely a thing. How many times do we gotta teach you this lesson? Alright. We did it! We got them to rage quit. They kept animating their lands. We kept bouncing them. Kept stunning them for playing any spells. Oh my gosh. I definitely could feel the rage on their side from that. Alright, we'll just do 2 more games of this and then we'll switch up the deck. Because I think we've kind of reached the limit of what this deck will do. But we definitely have gotten somebody to rage quit, and that's the important part, right? Sure, we'll try keeping this. Just please don't be mono red. Freaking heck. I cannot dodge this card. We played against this thing 4 times. Yep, you got the Hired Claw. We're gonna go Drowner. Tap the hero. And you have another hero. Oh my freaking word. We'll flash this in to protect. I mean, we get another burn spell out of them, potentially. Okay, cool. And now they probably don't attack me with the hero. If they do, oh yeah, I'm gonna snap that trade. Screw the hero. Opponent's turn. Let's see. Let that resolve. Let that resolve. Let's go for the curiosity and hope the opponent doesn't have none of those dragon fires. Of course, they didn't. Perfect. I think I'm better off holding up defense maybe, but we're still gonna attack in. I'm gonna get that card draw advantage. Hopefully we get the land. Nope. Another curiosity's not bad though. Do I want to use pull? Your opponent, draw a card. And counterspell. They like their exile removal, that's for certain. Alright, we got Tidebinder available to us along with Dispersal, so I think we should be good. Screaming Nemesis, yes, you get to come to the board. Bring out the Tidebinder, shut off the Foundry. Setting you back. I kind of want both of these, so yeah, we'll keep them. Lock the hero. Combat. We'll attack for the 3 here. We're going to hold the curiosity back. Pass to the opponent. Let's long rivers. You're probably going to fire up the other thing, right? Let's Drowner. And we did it. Because Drowner taps us down, and we get to attack in. They have to block with Foundry, but we could, you know, play this during our main phase. That way or during the combat phase. That way they can't use it as a blocker. So we got it. Yeah, this deck actually does work. I was surprised at how well it worked, and we actually beat the opponent's turn 1 Heartfire hero. Now, granted, we got to go on the play this time. It's such a big deal being on the play versus a deck like this. Alright. Let's see, how well did the deck do so far on our overall? I'm just going to take a quick look at my stats sheet here, because deck trackers are fun. It went 4-4. And we paired against Mono Red how many times? Oh, okay. One of those losses was because I auto-scooped off the rip. So I guess we could say it really is 4-3. But if you actually take a look at like what we got paired against, we got paired against Mono Red, probably our biggest bane, and we actually beat it about 50% of the time, which is actually kind of surprising. We beat the Rabbits deck here, and this was that Golgari deck that we just kept bouncing their lands and made them feel bad. Mono Black was the Demons deck, and we just could not. We stumbled with our lands early and just could not get into that game. But overall, the deck actually performed pretty well. So if you're trying to do the Your Go achievement, it's not a bad list to consider. I do think there's probably the idea of just being a harder control deck that you just play during your opponent's turn could be better with actual hard removal instead of just bounce removal. But I do like this idea of trying to do the mono blue tempo, and I like this one. This one worked out well.